Okay, I'm making a video on my prototype for my 811 rear board relay tester. Now, I've tried to put AC voltage to it, and I found out that if I remove the two capacitors, that would be, oh boy, C5 and C6, and I put the red, which is power, positive power, to the board right there, and the black is the negative, and the resistor is the, oh boy, where's my wiring diagram? The resistor is the 47K that goes from the power to the on-off switch to the LED, which you can barely see is right there. That's your transmit light. And then back down to the board right there, and goes up the track and into the circuit for the transmit transistors. Now I've also got a ground that runs from right there, goes over and hooks up all my lights. All my lights are all, oh, I take that back. That's a positive wire. All my lights are grounding through the switches and everything. I've got every light labeled. Like this is relay 2 side A, and it is normally closed. If you look at the picture right here, at my pin again, relay 2 side A is, that light is coming off of there. So I'm running a negative into here. It runs down through the normally closed side of relay 2 or relay 1 over to this side of relay 2, jumps across, goes over there, lights up my light. Bada boom, bada beam. Now every other light is hooked up, and you'll see the tags say relay 2, relay 1, and side B and side A, because these are double pull, double throw relays. So, and that's how that works. Now, my keying circuit is right here. That's that wire right there. And whenever I ground the keying circuit to my ground, every light lights up except one. Now you can see that says relay 1 side A, and that goes to the band switch, which is right there. Now relay 1 side A from band switch is coming out of the band switch. Sorry, I got to pull the camera back so I can see what I'm pointing at. And that one says relay 1 side B, and that was a normally open circuit. So that means that is closing that circuit because it's normally open. And see that one right there says it's normally closed. Now it's open. Same way with that one. That one's supposed to be normally open. So when I energize this circuit, it closes that relay. And it goes closed. Same way with that one. Now the reason why, excuse me for just a second. I got to move these out of the way so I can see what wire that is. Relay 2, side B. Okay. Relay 2, side B is this one right here. When this relay energizes, because this is normally closed. That's like from the radio. It goes down, and it's normally closed over here, jumps over here to this normally closed side, goes out and it says right there, out to antennas. Now I'm running a ground right to that point. So look, that circuit goes and that light comes on. That means that normal circuit is normally closed. Now, when we energize these relays, it disconnects this ground that I'm putting through here. So that's why the one light doesn't light up. I want you to also back up just a little bit and note that this yellow or this red wire, sorry about that, goes up and goes to here, this end of this diode, and sends a ground, just a ground all by itself, down to this relay 1 side B that is normally opened. And then this wire comes out right here, and that's why this white light right here doesn't work, I believe. Oh, it does too. We're looking at that other one. Now, in order to make that circuit, because whenever this circuit goes open, and I'm putting a negative to that, I need a way that I can continue on this circuit. So I've got an on-off switch, and I turn around, and the second segment, I put a ground right to here so that will close and make that light up. So that's relay 2, side B, normally open. That is that light right there. Now watch what happens whenever I ground it. See, that light does not come on because we're killing the ground I'm making through that. So flip the toggle switch, and that's putting a ground to the other side of that relay, which that one there is going to stay on. It might flicker a little bit, but now I can check the other side of that circuit and see that one still works. Now the object of the game here is to make sure all of those transistors right there in that pile of crap are working right. That's all I care about. I don't care about any of this other stuff. When I go in there, I'll replace all those diodes. But I mainly am concerned with this transistor here, that cap, and then that transistor, because if none of that shit is working right, it's not going to key the radio up, or the amplifier. Now you also notice that when I ground this, the transmit light comes on, which is exactly the way it's supposed to. For some reason, whenever I was experimenting with this, those two capacitors that were right there, C5 and C6, took so long to take a charge, and I could only get the relay to key up for a millisecond, and then they would all go out. So now the band switch is set for 160. If you can see it, let me turn this other light on. If you can see the gap right here is set for that terminal right there. So that means that that band switch is set for, let me look at my cheat sheet. Where the hell to go? 160. Because whenever it lines up with that gap, it's at 160. Now we already know that everything is working because this is my light coming out of the band switch. Now we can see that when I turn it on, that light is working. So now I'm going to line up the, I'll try to do this best I can. I'll just line it all up and then show it to you. Okay, now the gap is lined up with, oh, that's perfect. You can't even see down in there. You can see it's lined up with that other ring right there. Right there. That means that it is in it lines up with the 15 meter terminal, but now it is in 180 meters. So there again, I'm going to ground it out and we'll watch the light. See? From band switch. That means that that circuit is good going through that band switch. Now I'm going to turn it to the next one, which is going to line up. You can see it right there. The gap is lined up. If my light was going to be in better position, you could see it better. But I can only go so far with these lights. You can see it's lined up with that other terminal right there. And now it's in 40 meters mode. I believe that's right. 60, 80, 40. We'll ground it out again. See? Now that light works. Now this position right here should be 20 meters. And it's just checking the continuity through the whole thing here. I don't individually do each meter. And there's that one. And then that one there should be 15 meters because it's lined up with that terminal. And da-da-da. And this is 10 meters. Now I thought this switch was bad, but it's obviously working correctly. I wonder if I could move that around a little bit. Yeah, it's not flickering on. But whenever I turn it and get it to one spot, yeah, right there you can see a flicker. That's got to be the contacts going from one wafer to another. And I wonder sometimes if I shouldn't concentrate more on the 10 meter spot. See, there's another flicker right there. If that does flicker, who knows if that power is going through that wafer switch as I turn it. If I can get it so that you can see both sides. That one spot. Now bear with me for just a second and get into my stash of parts. I did acquire a brand new wafer switch, and this is the back side of the wafer switch, and you can definitely see the gap. As that thing turns, that gap will open up. And then this is the side that you see. But whenever I took this amplifier all apart, there was a bunch of black shit all over this thing, so I guess it's got two gaps on it. But mainly it's going around and hitting those big tabs, so some more investigating there. But I'm going to take this and put it all in a box and mount the lights, ID the lights, and go from there. I still wish I knew why I had to take those caps out and why. Because I would key it up and it would just like for just a second, click, and that was it. Let me turn it the other way so all these lights light up. There we go. So that is all the relays, all in a normally open position, and they were all closing as they should be. And I did not replace these relays. I did have a few problems up in that mess. Experimenting, I blew some diodes and a couple transistors, and you know how it is. But I'm going to make it so that all these wires can attach to where their spots are. And I'll show everything on my little diagram where every wire goes. Just so the next time I hook this thing up, I can test it. Probably have to take those two caps back out again. I'm not going to like that, but I don't know how else I'd do that. Anyway, that's my proposal for a 811 rear board relay tester. Somebody might have some different comments, but I'm open for them. But all these lights all are grounded. No, they have positive power to them, so the relays all close and send the ground to all these lights. And they're just little 12-volt lights. Every one lights up but that one until I flip the switch. Okay, I'm going to upload this to YouTube and some of you guys can take a gander at it. Thank you for watching.